Welcome to another episode of the Fanzone podcast, your home for all things Bolton Wanderers, up the Trotters, the Northwest's #1 podcast.
Good evening. Welcome to this another episode of the Fanzone podcast. Episode 141, entitled Relatively Enjoyable. Can't get too carried away. It was a draw and it has been poor, but hey, it got a bit better. What more can you ask for? A win, probably. The eagle-eyed amongst you may notice that we have somebody back on the pod who's not been here for a little while, and
Julius Chalmers himself.
Yeah. Mr. McQuaid,
yes. Good
welcome
evening.
back.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good to be back. I mean, I say good to be back. I landed home on Monday about 6 p.m, so an hour after the game finished at Lincoln, to look at the score and see we lost 4-2 and our playoff hopes were completely gone. So yeah, a very harsh welcome back home. And yeah, I mean, I had a good time away, but now it's back to business, isn't it? Back to podding every week and back to going watching Bolton.
Yeah, well,
other than the end of the season.
Well, yeah.
For a couple of weeks. No playoff specials, I'm afraid, Mr. McQuaid.
No, I know. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I went away, coming back and saw the last two games, and it's probably about a month ago. I think after we beat Birmingham, I was on the phone to my dad, and he was saying, "Oh, we could be coming back at a good time, posh away, and then Stevenage at home last game of the season. It could be one that if we might have to win to get in the playoffs." And turns out we're 8 points off into going into the last game, so maybe not. It might just be a nice little day out in the sun, hopefully, a few beers, and last game of watching this torrid season, really.
I think you bang on. It's just a case now of just getting over the line, getting it done, shutting lights off. Last one can lock up and crack on with hopefully what will be an interesting transfer window and a lot of hard graft. And how are you?
I've been better.
I know.
But I'm here. And I did not watch the match yesterday. So I'm going to be a real useful member of the panel tonight. I'm here to make up the numbers.
I watched Ben's football vlogs earlier, which I watch every week. Shout out to Ben, class. And he described it yesterday as almost like first day of the season, a bit of a weird kind of atmosphere. It was a strange game. It was a very, very strange game to watch. But yeah, I don't think you missed too much. No, I know you didn't miss too much, but hey. Thank you to the 54 of you who have joined us thus far. The usual suspects: Mark, good evening.
Good evening.
David, channel member, good evening. Leslie, as ever, good evening. Mr. Green, good evening. Anne, hello.
Hi, David.
And to anybody I've missed, apart from Brandon, no, we weren't late. We started at 8. I clicked the button at 8. All right. So I'll get
I want to know why Brandon has a very sore bottom, please.
No, he means me.
Oh,
He means I'm back home with the sore bottom. I think insinuating
the conversation
certain traditions in Southeast Asia, yeah, which I did not partake in. I'll just have that on record.
No. Sorry, just reminding me. Speaking of Brandon, I got a little message. In fact, we all got a little message the other day. Don't know if you know, but an avid listener of the pod and Colin's biggest fan, which is Brandon, his partner is due a baby in a couple of weeks. So I don't know if there's been an update on that, because that was on the 18th of April. So approaching a couple of weeks ago. So
is it still a pending arrival, or
is Bunny oven still, or Brandon, are you there?
It's gone all quiet now for once.
Maybe it's happening now.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's still watching, so if it is.
Oh, not yet. June.
So quite a few weeks then.
All right. Well, either way, congratulations.
Best of luck.
Absolute massive congratulations, and get ready for your life changing in the best possible way, Brandon. So
do we have Wanderers related baby names up our sleeves?
Yes, I hope so.
Oh, Keon, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. As a suggestion. Anyway, without further ado, first of all, thank you to, as always, our sponsors for this evening, Eco One Windows. They're the Burton boys. They've got the biggest choice. Eco One Windows. There you go. You can have that as a jingle. It's good.
Hey, well, jingle. I like it.
I won't charge you for it either. A bit of marketing there for you. So thank you. As we draw to the end of the season, yeah, can't do it without them. So thanks, lads. Legends. Right, on to our first segment this evening, which of course is post-match reactions.
Can we just before you do that, Brandon, if you don't give if you are having a son and you don't give him a middle name of at least of Colin, I'll be really upset. I'll be really upset.
That'd be lovely, that. Imagine that. That'd be like
little baby Col.
Oh, the first podcast baby.
Yeah, God.
That'd be lovely, that. Yeah, best of luck, mate, and you look after your good lady and make sure she's tended to every need, please. Thank you.
Timed it well with it being out of the season as well, so well done.
I know, yeah. Brilliant timing. Well done.
Great timing. And obviously, I'm not sure what the discount incentive is on season tickets, but I'm sure it'd be decent. So get them in there. Never too young. As always, this segment is sponsored by our friends over at Johnston Tiling. And yesterday could have been 5 defeats on the spin. Fortunately, it wasn't. It was, it was a decent performance after some absolute honkers. Come on, Ben. You've not been on for a while. Talk to us about it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it was interesting game. As you said before, when Ben's football blog said it was a strange, I wasn't there, but it seemed like a strange kind of atmosphere, a strange feeling towards the game, because it's the first time the second time in 10 years, as other Ben pointed out the other day, that we've gone into the last bit of the season with nothing to play for, either relegation or promotion on the cards. So it's strange going into games where we feel like we've got nothing to play for. And it was a different team than we usually see. Obviously, a lot of forced changes with the injuries that we have. I think we were limited to, I think he said 7 outfielders that have played more than 10 games this season.
That's it.
So when you put it down to that, pretty down to the bare bones. But then you have the likes of Sam Inwood that stepped in and looked really good. Obviously, we'll get onto the man of match later. But a couple of players that prove that maybe they have a space here next season. I mean, at least one game, we'll see. But a much, much better performance than we've seen over the last 4 games. As you said, it could have been 5 losses in a row, which we've not seen for a very long time. Fortunately, it wasn't. Thanks to a good penalty save by Southwood as well. But thanks to us putting in decent defensive performance for once, and us having a good attacking performance right until the last, the last ball, the final third, as we've said many times this season. I think it was 23 shots we had in the end and 1 goal. And we even managed to, McAtee even managed to recreate his one against Rotherham where we went around the keeper and hit the post, which, as we were talking just before, was basically a carbon copy. I don't know how.
It was probably less narrow of an angle slightly, I would say. But, yeah, it was, like I said before. before we came on. Very rare that happens, but to do it twice within 5 games is hell of an achievement.
Quite impressive in for all the wrong reasons, really. But I thought there was a few players that played better than they have over the last few weeks. I mean, Matete's been good over the last couple of games. He's kind of been a shining light in a poor team. I think he was decent again. I think Randall, first half especially, was a lot better than we've seen.
Very good
over the last few weeks. I mean, the boos from the home crowd were maybe egging him on to, perform a little bit better, seeing a little bit of extra motivation. And as I say, Inwood was good. Farino was good as well. Obviously, got his goal, took that well. I think Sabichon was good. Come back into the team. I think he's not played as much as I kind of wish he would under Schumacher, and came in and played pretty well again yesterday. But all in all, like, it's one of them. The result didn't really mean that much. I was more bothered about performance, and when it's a decent performance, and take the point and go home, and doesn't really matter to the end of the table, does it?
No. Either way, in terms of both Peterborough and us, they're 17th, and that's it. And we're 8th, and barring a Blackpool, strong finish, winning the last 2 games, we should finish 8th, which is not what we wanted. Let's be realistic about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a dreadful season. But, I think it was important to nip it in the bud, get some momentum, as Stephen Schumacher's spoken about, going into the end of the season. Just on Sam Inwood, and obviously the 2 weeks before that, it's been David Abimbola who has kind of lifted the clouds a little bit. Do you think, and I said it about Abimbola last week, and I'm going to say it about Sam Inwood this week. I think they've done, it's phenomenal. It's brilliant. It's been so long overdue to see players coming through the youth and performing. Obviously, we had the situation when we were in financial disarray and all that kind of stuff. But to see players developing, learning, and coming through and earning a place, albeit due to a horrendous injury list, is brilliant. However, in terms of performance, I just felt that it kind of gives a bit of perspective in terms of players who can perform really, really well, comfortably, reliably in a role. Just do. I'm not going to call it an average performance, but just doing what's necessary in that particular position and that role. I think I don't know. What do you think about that? Am I just being super negative, or?
Not like you, Chris.
No, I don't. I really want them to do well, and I want to see them in and around the squad next season, because I think they're good enough. A couple of them may benefit from going out on loan. Obviously, we've got Max Conway coming back as well. So there's very much that sort of undercurrent of youth coming back into the frame, which is great. But can we just talk about that? What do you think?
And these lads have come through the 21s, aren't they? They're not the B team. They're coming through the youth system. I honestly think, and it sounds like they're definitely getting more of an opportunity to kind of train in amongst the first team.
Yeah.
Which is massive, just to get to. It must be so hard when they get plucked out of these youth teams and just chucked into a first team environment. It's got to be overwhelming and daunting, and it's nice that if they can at least build a little bit of a rapport with a few of the players and get the chance to even just training with them. It's massive, and I think from what it sounds like, Shuey's an advocate for it. So
from his Everton days, seemingly.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It's hang on a minute. We've got some comments about the structure in the chat. Leslie says they are all 18. Brandon says, I thought the under 21s was the B team, and then you go to the under 18s. I think it is. They're the academy team, aren't they? / B team. And ironically, given that 5 of the lads were on the coach on Saturday, the academy team fell to their first defeat of the season, which is disappointing. But they have had an excellent season. So, but I think it does give more of a pathway, doesn't it, into potential first team opportunities. What did you think, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I think ever since we got started the B team, I think it's been since the 4th season of it now. I think maybe that there's always in the back of your mind thinking, right, when's this going to come? When is this going to bear fruit? And we're going to have players bleed into the starting, the starting squad, and obviously, with it being extenuating circumstances, being the end of the season, we've got nothing to play for, and we've barely got 11 fit players. But it's nice to see players actually getting a chance. I mean, we had Sonny Sharples, Ahmed, didn't we, earlier in the season? But apart from that, basically not had any come through the B team or the academy for a long time. Probably going back to Harry Brockbank and Ronan Darcy, five seasons ago? Yeah, and then before that, it was Zach Clough and Josh Vella. That's going back like 10 years. So it's been a long time since we've had players come through the academy to make an impact on the squad. We've had the odd ones, like Tom Walker, Joe Pritchard, that have come played a few games and moved on elsewhere. But to actually have an impact on the team, and it'd be great to see. It's been one thing that's been missing for a long time, I feel like. So I'm not going to get too carried away. Look, it's it's the circumstances we're in is why they've got the chance. But I mean, especially yesterday, Samin Wood definitely took his chance. He didn't look out of place at all.
No,
don't recall him really. I think there was one making a mistake. Yeah,
one in the second half where he shows.
Yeah, when Poku went past him. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's going to end up playing towards the top end of the championship next season. Yeah. Poku, I've no doubt about that. So I don't think there's any much issue with that. But yeah, apart from that, I don't think he really stood out as a young player. It's one of them I didn't really have in the back of my mind the whole time. Well, we've got a young centre back kind of protect him a little bit. No, he just kind of fit in.
It was just nice to see his composure, the way that he passed the ball. He wasn't scared of these crossfield balls, which we missed so much. It was effortless. Yeah, it's fair. I don't know if you've got anything to add, Ange. Obviously, you've been very, very open. You passed the denial stage and admitted quite openly to not watching the game, which is fair. We've all got lives, for God's sake, and all that. Is there anything you'd like to add, or shall we move straight on to your segment?
Yeah, I didn't see him, so I don't know. Move it on, Chris.
That's leads us seamlessly into our next segment.
So obviously, I'm not going to vote on this because I didn't watch it, as we already know. So if you do have a split decision, it will go down to the chat. So let's have your votes in the chat, and if you'd like to elaborate on as to why they're your man of the match, feel free. And let's start with obviously Ben. You're just back, so let's start with you.
Thanks. I think it was a good team performance. I don't think there was too many standout sort of clear man of the match players. I think because obviously a 1-1 draw, you've not had anyone that's had a hand in a few goals, or you've not had someone who's had a hand in a clean sheet or whatever. Shout out to Southwood, who didn't have much to do, but I think he made a fool of in the first penalty. He dived pretty early with the stutter up, and then just got Motherstill kind of slid it the other way. And then he learned from it. Second penalty, stood up, didn't fall for the stutter and wait for the penalty. Stopped down in his bottom left and big save for it. So, and especially it's his first game for 7 or 8 games, isn't it? He got dropped after the Bristol Rovers game, and Baxter came in. He's not had the best of times. So Schumacher's made the call to bring Southwood back in, and good performance. Yeah, Craig, definitely agree with that. Not the ref. I mean, yeah, let's
Is
say
it
about
just
that.
me being old? But did he look dead? He looked really, really young.
The ref.
The ref, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Young to me, I know, but
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think the 2 penalties were, I mean, biased point of view, I think they were pretty soft. The first one, Mothersill kind of glides in between two, and I think he's always going to tumble over there. Matete's got a little bit of a nick on him, but I don't think there's that much there. And then the second one, Thomason, he does charge in, but then he kind of jumps out of a tackle before he even gets to him and dangles a little bit of a leg, but Mothersill makes the most of it again. And then we have a little bit of a penalty shout second half, and I feel like there's not much between that and the ones he given. But anyway, whatever. End of the season, who cares? We've got nothing to play for. We'll have a bad ref on a day like that. And going back to actual man of the matches, I thought, as David's pointed out, Firino was excellent. Massively helped him, more definitely. And Inman himself had a good game as well. I think midfield Matete was better. As I said, he's been better the last few weeks. Randall had a good first half, kind of faded second half. Sean had a good game, good first half again, kind of faded second half as well. But I think my vote would go to Simon Wood. I mean, I think between him and Firino, there's not much in it. Obviously, Firino got the goal. It was a massive threat from set pieces going forward. I think he had a couple others that he connected to. But yeah, I'll give it to Simon Wood. First start, you can't really get much better than that on an EFL debut. So he's gone. Simon Wood's my man of the match.
Brilliant. Chris, who are you having?
I can't see anyone else. I can't see any further than Simon Wood. Pointless going through the whys and the wherefores because Ben's covered every one of them. But yeah, he was excellent. And I think what Cole said is right for me. Cole says, hell of a step up for Inwood. Performance was a solid 7 out of 10. Can't complain with that at any stage for a defender. Never mind his debut. Yeah, I don't think it, even if you take the whole sentiment out of it and the whole debut thing out of it and just look at it from a performance perspective, yeah, can't fault him. Absolutely excellent. Man of the match, hands down. Yeah. I think what David was saying about Chris Firino sort of guiding him along, like in game, was quite noticeable. And I love that. I love that. We were only talking about it the other day that Abimbola was lacking that sort of little bit of an arm around the shoulder from Aaron Collins the other week. Firino, I think he might have been listening because he delivered that in spades, which was excellent. But Sam Inwood for me, and I think pretty much the chat is unanimous.
It's a very heavily Inwood chat. Couple of Farinos, who actually is fast becoming one of my favourites. I think since he kind of came into the side, he leaves it all on the pitch, doesn't he? He's absolutely he's a leader on the pitch, and he's passionate, and yeah, he's a great
shout for that. See a few of these. Craig saying that Firino captain next season. Yeah.
It would be nice to finally get a captain who we're actually happy with for more than half the season. Because it feels like we wanted to change one every 10 games. But he seems to have all the characteristics, as long as he don't get injured again. He seems to have all the characteristics to be a good captain. Look at him, he's massive, he's huge, he seems like a leader. It seemed like, as we were saying, he talked him through the game. So yeah, why not?
Yeah. Can I ask about? So I saw a lot in the chat yesterday. I was keeping my eye on our group chat yesterday when you were all watching the match, and then obviously social media after. What went on with Georgie T and the?
You got lots about it.
Yeah, so he got booked in the first half for a classic Thomason. I think it was a bit of a argy-bargy, wasn't it, with him and can't remember who it was. It's one of them where, they have a bit of a tussle and they both get booked and walk away. And so I think after that was after about 25 minutes, and you're thinking, great, Thomason's basically a walking car for the rest of the game, as he is most games. And then obviously second half, he gives away the penalty. And I mean, to me straight away, I thought, great, he's going to send off here. But then I think he's booked Jones instead for protesting the penalty.
Yeah.
But he didn't seem very clear, and I don't know. He didn't really. Yeah. I mean, he stayed on the pitch, so I can only guess he gave the yellow card to someone else. So
yeah. There was a few though, wasn't there? I think debatably there were 3.
yeah,
with the first penalty, where he booked Matete. Did he book Matete?
I think
But
so. Yeah.
The card was very, very close to George Thomason, and then the incident you mentioned, which I think was with Con Clark, and then the second penalty, which would have been rash anyway.
Yeah.
Weird one.
I don't know. Yeah.
Very, very, very.
Yeah. So to answer the question, and we don't really know.
So, okay, fair enough. So we'll just end the segment and say congratulations to young Sam on his debut performance and his man of the match performance. Well done, young man.
Well done, young man. Happy days. So that's isn't that 2 in 3 weeks? Yeah, two academy players in 3 weeks who won man of the match. Abby Bowler's debut at Lincoln and Sam Inwood's debut away at Peterborough yesterday. So hats off to Jules, as they call him at Burnden Park, and for raising these lads as they should be. So fair dues. Okay. Bit of a change in lineup this evening. There won't be a Collins catch of the week, unfortunately, because Cole's not here. So what we're going to do...
Although he is, because he's in the chat.
Well, he's in the chat. He can't keep away, can he? So it's with a tinge of sadness that I say this as we move on to what will be the last Get Stats On of the season. Yeah. Sad.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Get Stats On with the Statman. Of course, this segment of the Fanzone podcast is sponsored by General Louise Salmon, and you're on the line. If you're buying a gaff, give her a bell. And but we'll move straight on to the footy, shall we? And just before I do, actually, how grey does my hair look? Jesus, wet. That is awful, that. Anyway, we move on to Stevenage, which is, of course, the last game of the season, and it is at home, which is always a nice thing. It is a bit of a nothing game, of course, but let's end the season on a high, shall we? They are playing Rotherham, basically, as I speak. Give it 20 minutes, near enough. So all the stats and stuff like that are from before the Rotherham game. But just one thing I would like to say. I would like to see Inwood play again, because he impressed me quite a lot. He was very comfortable on the ball and wasn't afraid to show his passing range. And he actually made the most tackles and won the most duels in the game. So very assured first league start anyway. And yeah, I would like to see him play again, especially with it being a bit of a dead rubber, if you will. But let's move on to Stevenage, shall we? They are 15th, or they are before the game versus Rotherham today. And I'd say Dan Kemp is the main man to watch out for. He's a top scorer and assister for Stevenage. He plays in the number 10 or on the right wing. He's all right on the ball, but he's quite impressive off the ball as well. Very good presser, as are Stevenage, but we'll come on to that a little bit later. However, he does have a slight knock, and he's not been involved in the last couple of games, and he's not playing today either. So whether he comes back for the end of the season with it being a bit of a nothing game, who knows? But if he does play, he's one to watch out for. Someone who will almost definitely be playing is Carl Piagiani. Probably said that wrong. The centre-back, anyway, he is pretty mint, to say the least. Very high tackle win percentage. Wins the most duels, especially in the air. Like, he is good in the air. Makes lots of blocks. And he has been absolutely mega this season, to say the least. Especially this year. Anyway, as for the rest of the team, yeah, it's a bit meh, to be honest. They struggle to create chances and score goals. 22nd in the league for goals per game, but they are third best in the league for big chances missed. So all that really means is they don't create very many chances. but when they do, they tend to score. But they create that little, that doesn't matter. Basically. Defensively then, they're the 8th best in the league for goals conceded, which does sound pretty good on the face of it, but their expected goals conceded, bear with me, I know, it suggests that they should have conceded significantly less than they have. So while to me, anyway, that says they're set up quite well. The manager sets them up to be a very solid defensive team, very good out of possession, but the players make a couple mistakes, individual errors at the back, maybe the keeper's a bit dodgy, we'll come on to that in a second, or even individual brilliance from the opposition that costs them goals that they shouldn't really be conceding. So there is definitely a bit of positivity to take into this game, if from Stevens' poor form, if nothing else. We'll move on then. Still defensively, very low for interceptions, but that is because of how aggressively they press, and they almost press a bit different to most people, because like most teams, they kind of have the front line pressing and then everyone else is tight, but the way these do it is like pure man for man. That's why they're so low for interceptions, because of how tight they get to the person they're supposed to be marking, which I have to imagine it's quite an interesting watch. Whether it works or not, probably not, with where Stevenage sit in the league. But if nothing, it will be a good watch, because that means you have to be aggressive if you're man for man. And to be fair, it does work quite a bit, because they win the ball nearly 4 times in the final third every game. So, that is pretty mega. But, as I said before, it does mean they're very aggressive. It does mean they're very aggressive, and they make a lot of fouls. Not as much as Lincoln, I should say, but they make a lot of fouls. And the last thing then, just before I leave you, is the keeper is very low for saves per 90. So as I say in almost every preview, get your shots off. Stop trying to play it around for no reason. You're on the edge of the box. Don't go backwards. Just have a dig, especially if it's early on. Have a bleeming dig. Well, anyway, I'll let you enjoy the rest of the podcast. And even though it is the last game of the season, I'm sure I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
Warra. Just something that Collins just put in the chat. I think something we've spoken about internally, and I just want to put it on record. That's the kind of guy I am. The stat man, Callum. What can I say?
What guy?
Honestly, I feel like a proud dad.
I'm going to say I feel like a proud mum. The amount the confidence he's got, he did not want to be on camera when he first kind of got involved in the pod. He was like, no. And we had him on. Do you remember when we had him on a live? And he's doing brilliant things, not just with the pod, in his kind of
phenomenal.
Yeah, his career. He's getting up that ladder. You're doing well, Callum. We're proud of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hats off to you, mate. And
we do forgive you for supporting that terrible football club.
Yeah. You got to counter it with that, I'm afraid. And his views on VAR, but we'll we'll talk about that another day. But no, genuinely, mate, absolutely brilliant. Proud to have you as part of the team. Amazing work. So, anyway, enough of that lovely nonsense. Where are we up to? So, a bit of a change in structure this evening, and we're going to move on to what is usually my little baby, but I think it's only fair that he's come back, that Mr. McQuaid should talk us through your fan focus this week.
Yes, fan focus. Yeah, I feel a bit rude. I felt a bit rude before the podcast, and now you're making me feel a bit guilty calling it your little baby. I stole your baby off you.
I'm only messing.
So, yeah, no, it's all good. We'll get through it. So yeah, we've had a few come in from fan focus, mostly about what I've kind of already spoke about with the young lads. So we've had one from Jordan Hookway, regular responder. who said Sam Inwood was impressive yesterday, who was our man of the match. Should he be one of the first names on the team sheet versus Stevenage? I feel like the lad has earned the chance to start rather than having players walk back in who were previously injured. Also showed that what it meant to him to get his opportunity. And yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know who's seen his post-match interview. He seemed very, very proud to get his opportunity. He seemed pretty chilled out as well, to be fair, pretty calm about it. Had his brother in the crowd that had travelled down from Loughborough Uni to cheer him on, which was nice to see. Chris, what do you think about that? And obviously, we spoke about Inwood, but just more broadly on the young players, would you have more in on Saturday? Do you think?
I don't know about more, because I think there are certainly players who have earned it. Obviously, Sam Inwood being one of them. Going to say it because obviously it's relevant to the conversation. The player he replaced, he was better than him.
Yeah.
In recent performances, so you earn your place based on merit. Obviously, there's a week of training ground, which gives an opportunity for players to put a case forward. But if you look at it in simple terms, is he better than what was there before in terms of form? Yeah. Should he play? Yeah. So absolutely. I would like to see Big Dave back in the fold. And I say that on the basis, similar sort of thing. There were two strikers who played on Saturday who didn't convert. Could you say he has converted that sort of flick of the hand of Link? I think obviously it was obviously it didn't go down to him. It went down to Alex Murphy. But I just think he looks more of a threat. I think he looks more of a handful. He occupies defenders. He leads the line really well. He's strong. He's enthusiastic. So for me, I would give both Sam Inwood and David Amimbola a start against Stevenage on Saturday. Didn't see enough of Deshaun Lawrence to really comment. But again, if he's featuring with the first team in training this week, I think that's one thing that we've seen with Steven Schumacher, that he's more than happy to drop players regardless of their sort of credentials at the club and previous whatever. It's just, it's a clean slate. He's very much judging players on merit and what he sees, and I like that. So, in short, Ben, yeah, I would like to see more youth involved, because it's just energy. It's just good vibes.
Yeah, you're right. It's been bad vibes, hasn't it, the last few weeks? So it's been good to something fresh in, just to see a new player. It's like when you get a new signing. It's nice to see a new signing, get a run out and see what he's about. So I think more than anything, especially with Albion Bowler, we've had a season of McAtee. We know what he's about. We know what he gives us. We've had a season and a half of Collins. We know what he's about. We know what he gives us. So why not just give Albion Bowler a run out, give him 70 minutes, see what kind of player he is. I know we've seen just over an hour of him, I think, in total. So yeah, why not? Exactly. We know what most of our squad are about, so why not give the young lads a chance? Obviously, it has to be based on merit. We can't just chuck a team full of kids out. But yeah, it'd be nice to see. And as you say, with Deshaun Lawrence as well, as you say, he's featured in the first team training for quite a bit. He's featured on my Twitter as well quite a lot over the season with his goal.
I thought you meant he'd be DMing you something.
Oh no! I wish. No, I've not got that kind of pull. No, he's featured on my Twitter. What's it called? Timeline quite a lot with his goal graphic this season. I mean, we saw it a lot with Albion Bowler, so it'd be nice to see Lawrence and Rice and who else came on? It was Albion Bowler, wasn't it, in the last minute? To get a few more minutes, to not come on and get more than a minute on Saturday.
I think this needs to be considered as well. What Mark's saying, you've got to be careful.
Of course,
Mark Crowder says you've got to appreciate it's a massive step up for the younger lads. it's up to Schumacher and his team to nurture them in the right way. And I think that's really, really important. You can't break them. You've got to sort of give them that flavour, give them that taste of it, let them enjoy it, let them want more. But
and it's a perfect time because don't matter.
Definitely. It's a perfect storm, isn't it? We've got nothing to play for, and most of our first team squad are out injured. So
pressure's off. Let's just let them play. Let's just see what they've got.
Yeah. Perfect time to,
Yeah. So, all for it.
Yep. And the next one was along the same lines. It was about giving young lads a chance, but it was Michael who mentioned... no, it wasn't. It was... Yeah, Michael, who mentioned Max Conway's name, who, of course, spent the season on loan with Crewe and has got their fans player of the year, which is nice to see. I think they've had a pretty middling season. I think they were top 3 around January, and they've dropped off a little bit. I think they're around about 10th, 11th now. But yeah, he's had a pretty good loan spell, which has been nice to see. And it was announced the other day that we've triggered the options for him to have another year at Bottom Wonders. So where do you see him fitting in next season? Do you think it'll be another loan, say, sort of to League One, or do you think he's firmly in the squad? And what do you reckon?
I mean, I haven't seen him play at all, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But for me, it does sound like let's bring him back and see what he's got. You can always then send back out on loan if it doesn't work, can't you? But I mean, let's have a look at the lad. See what if he's got. Was it fans player of the season?
I think it was. Yeah.
Then for a loan player, then bloody hell, hats off. He sounds like he's done great things. But yeah, like I ain't watched a single game he's played, so I don't know.
I've only seen glimpses of him as well. To be fair, very much that. I think the thing for me is the fact that playing at League 2 level consistently and earning accolades is always a good sign because let's face it, in terms of physicality, it's
a brutal league, isn't it? That it's a dirty league,
There's many young players go down there as a first loan and play a couple of games and then never get seen again, basically because they can't keep up with the physicality. So for him to go there, start the season, I think he was on the bench first couple of games of the season and came on and impressed and has been a mainstay in the team. And as you say, he got player of the season, so he's obviously been able to deal with the physicality. So be nice to see if he can make a step up, and it's in a position of need as well. We've had obviously we had Churn on the left hand side of the back 3, and then we switched to a back 4. It's been Alex Murphy who we've had on loan, who I don't think anyone expects to be back here next season. So we've got a big gap at left back. So again, perfect storm, I guess. See how he is in pre-season, and
that's
Max Bot himself.
Pretty much what a few people have said in the chat. Radix, said depends on how he does in pre-season. 100%. Leslie says the same thing. But it's when you consider the fact that the changes may not potentially be as wholesale as we all would like and think it might be, to have these little options with the academy players and with Max Conway and other personnel in and around the team just to strengthen in areas that need it, they're nice options to have. You got to look at some positives because there's a lot of negatives out at the moment. But there you go. But it's a good shout. Who was that from? Michael.
That was from Michael. Yes, Michael BWFC. Yes.
No, it's a good shout. Good shout.
Yes, very. And the rest are pretty much the same. Just touching on the academy players coming on and helping us out really in a time of need, and hoping we can see a little bit more from them. I mean, on Stevenage and then a bit in pre-season, and see if they can add to the squad. As I said before, it's been a long time since we've had an academy player coming and making impact. So Cole said in the chat before, Rob Holding, one I forgot, but I think we're up to 5 in the last decade. So yeah, it'd be nice to get a few more. As you said, it's just good vibes, isn't it? Obviously, you don't build a team off good vibes, but it'd be nice to have a couple of academy players make an impact on our squad. But that's that from Phil. We have to see change, youth, and then new players. Put into context, we struggled this season for a number of reasons. Wrexham get up at first go. Yeah, that was nice to see yesterday, wasn't it? League One is 80% hard graft, 15% skill, and 5% luck. Which, yeah, I don't think he's too far wrong. And when you look at the way Wrexham have gone about it this season, as we were saying, I think it was before we came on air, Stockport have just kind of grinded the way through. Obviously lost Louis Barry in January, who was their best player by a mile. So I think he's still like 5th top scorer in the league, which is bizarre when he left 4 months ago. But yeah, they've just grinded out results week upon week, which we have not done basically once this season. So yeah, hard graft is definitely has been an underrated skill by our recruitment team over the last couple of seasons. So it'd be nice to rectify that, really.
Upset Fergal. Come on,
yeah,
Fergal.
Yes,
indeed. Yeah, see what he does. But I think hopefully it's a positive. Time will tell. But we were only saying the other day when we looked at the last 10 games when we had Henry on that we won 2, lost 8. We hadn't drawn any. And what you're talking about there with Wrexham, you just draw a couple of those, get a couple of points on the board, like say win ugly or scab a draw or whatever, just graph for it.
Yeah, I mean that's
difference.
Yeah, I mean we've lost 18 games this season. When you look, we've won 23, lost 18, and we've only drawn I think 7 after yesterday. I think last season we drew 11 or 12 games. I know it's only 5 points difference, but it's the difference between being in games and grafting out points than being battered like we have done over the last few weeks. It makes a big difference for your mentality.
Of course it does.
Yeah, and it's just
It's not just points, is it?
No, it's looking back and thinking, yeah, we've grinded out a game, we can do it again rather than falling apart and collapsing to, yet another loss. So yeah. Anyway, that's one, as we say, that's one for Fergal and Stephen Schumacher to think about over the summer. One from Bannon there. 21 games, we've conceded 2 or more goals, which is quite laughable, really. I mean, when you think back to, I've referenced it quite a few times this season. Go back just 2 seasons ago. Obviously, we did have James Trafford in net. That helps a lot. But the back three we had them is all players we have right now. And we conceded 36 goals all season. And now we've conceded, if we concede 4 on Saturday, which I hope we don't, we'll be on to double that in a season.
We've conceded 69.
69, right. So 3 on Saturday, and we'll be double that over a whole season, which, obviously not great.
No.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he won't take too much offence to this, or Matt Farley if he's watching, but I am optimistic and I would like the target to be on Saturday to get back into a positive goal difference.
Goal difference. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
It's just bloody laughable, isn't it?
It is.
Shocking.
Yay, positive goal difference. Like what?
Wow. No, it's... I think it's sums our season up really well. That not good enough. Yeah,
and it shows we've not deserved to be in a playoff position at all. There's no way you should get in the playoffs with a negative goal difference.
It'd be interesting to see if anybody's ever done it.
Well, in League 2 at the minute, Grimsby are on -4 goal difference, I think, and they're a point or 2 points outside the playoffs. So if they win on Saturday, they could get in the playoffs and with a minus goal difference, which, I'd be interested to see if that happens before, but doubt it. Yeah.
What a season.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the end of Fan Focus. We'll leave it there for this
I'm
week.
going to have to mark you down a little bit. Ben, I'm sorry.
Oh.
You did mention Wood and Grounds.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
sorry, mate. Yes. Lovely sponsors, Wood and Grounds. As I say, I knew I'd be rusty.
Well, we have had the ticker tape running throughout the segment, so that just makes up for
it. Yeah.
I know.
Thank you as ever to Wood and Grounds. Use the code Fanzone10 for 10% off as you check out. As you can see at the ticker tape down there. There we go. We're rounding up Fanzone Fan Focus.
Top man. And I think that pretty much wraps up this evening's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I think we pretty much covered. There weren't too much to dissect from yesterday, and there's certainly nothing to get excited about in terms of what the remainder of the season holds, which is one home game against Stevenage on Saturday. Look, I know it's all been a bit biz, hasn't it, this season? I'm trying to be polite. Yeah, it's been gutting. It's been a massive anticlimax.
Yeah.
However,
It's been a right slog, I would say.
it has, yeah, it has been a lot of graft, but exciting times lie ahead. We have a new manager with a transfer window to work with, and a director or sporting director or director of football, whatever Fergal's official title is. Just go on Saturday, have a couple of pints. Hopefully it'll be sunny. Enjoy yourself. Get behind them. Pointless booing them. I know. I'm not saying clap them off or we get beat 4-2 away at Lincoln and all that. I'm not saying that. It's the last game of the season.
Let's try and make it fun.
Yeah, just enjoy yourself. There's no pressure, so just enjoy it. And
I'm not. Do you know, Leslie? I'm not sure. When do we normally do that? When do we
What
normally
was
do
that?
that prediction reveal thing? So do you know when we all do predictions at the beginning of the?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When do we normally do that? It's like a special roundup one. I forget.
End of season show.
Yeah, I think we deleted them by mistake though, didn't we?
I think so.
All of them.
Yeah.
We will, Leslie. We will do that at some point because we always do. But I'm not sure whether it'll be because obviously we're not all on the last pod, so I'm not sure when we'll be doing it. But we will do it.
But I think we'll do a proper end of season show with us all on.
Oh, we will. Yeah. Regardless of you, look, at the end of the day, you can't always, just do pods when you're doing well and leverage on success. You got to take the rough with the smooth and all that. It's annoying, but as Ben mentioned earlier, it's only the second season in 10 where we had nothing to play for. So it is a bit of a weird one, but
it's unfamiliar feeling, isn't it, as a Bolton fan? It's never really boring, and for once it's boring. So
it's never been that, mate. Never been that. Jesus, 40 odd years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Such is life. Anyway, good mate. It's good to have you back. Sorry, I just dropped something. I don't know what it was. It's good to have you back.
Cheers. Good to be back.
So, Dream Team back in full effect. Angela, thank you as always for being here and being you. And
I'm not watching.
What? I'm not watching the game. There you go. That's what it's driven us to, isn't it? So thank you all. 140 have joined us live this evening. We couldn't do it without you. Here's some more of the same, but with a few more points in the mix, hopefully. So have a fantastic week, and we'll be around for a preview for Stevenage, hopefully with Matt Farley later in the week. If that don't cheer you up, then you might as well give up.
I like Matt Farley. I think he might be my favourite one.
We all love him. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, before I forget, congratulations to the one, the only, Nappers on a sub 4 hour.
Unbelievable.
Marathon. Unreal, man. 3 minutes, 3 hours, 51 minutes. That would have been good, wouldn't it? Just to, if you don't know the backstory, young Ben, Mr. Nappers, was very, very ill not 2 years ago. He's always been into his running and all that kind of stuff, and he's always been a really up and out kind of guy. And he contracted sepsis a couple of years ago. He's really ill, and there was an actual chance he may not have walked again. That's how serious it was. So to smash out a sub 4 hour marathon is just absolutely unreal.
I mean, it'd take me 4 days, so.
Phenomenal, isn't it? 4 hours.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So, congratulations, young man. You deserve it.
Matters.
You're an absolute ledge. So, on that very positive note, we're going to leave it there. So, thank you all, and we'll see you again soon. Come on, you Whites.